That's a high chair. The live stream is running.
The live stream is running.
I just
Okay. All right, it's 3 p.m. Excuse me. We're gonna.
I got another one.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
you're good. You're good.
All right, it's 3 p.m. Looking for it. What do I do with these agenda? We're going to call this special city council meeting to order. Let's go ahead and do a roll call, please.
Dana Martinez, District 1.
Houston, Washington, District 2.
Alex Lee, District 5.
Bruce Alexander, Mayor. As we do in every meeting, normally we do it in a workshop, but we have one set up for this one. We're going to have citizens' comments. The city council will hear comments from any citizen or visitor. Speakers must address their comments to the presiding officer rather than individual council members or staff. Stand at the podium, speak clearly in the microphone, state your name, residential address before speaking. Speakers will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes for testimony. In accordance with the State of Convenience Act, the City Council is restricted from discussing or taking action on items not listed on the agenda. Action can only be taken in a future meeting. All right, let's open it up. Anybody want to make citizens' comments?
Okay.
Go there. Name and address. Make name and address, please. We'll start you out. I promise not to put too much more than 10 minutes on that. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is David Entz. And I own Overholt Supply Company at 407 Paris Street.
I'm sorry. Whoa. I got 407 Paris. I'm sorry. What was your name? David?
David Entz, I-N-C-E.
I-N-C. Thank you.
You got it. So I've written and rewritten these comments several times over the last few days, and the details have changed, but one thing has remained constant. It's the request that I have for the city of Castroville. If Fiorella Friday is truly going to be a community event, an event that belongs to all of Castroville and welcomes every business, vendor, and citizen, then I fully support that. But if it's going to be a privately controlled event, then the city should stop using taxpayer resources to subsidize it and revoke the street closure permit for any portion of the event that is no longer being utilized, as well as to cease subsidizing any of the utilities. Lauren, my wife, and I made a post this weekend letting vendors know that if they felt hurt, belittled, unimportant, that they were seen, they were heard, and that at least Overholt wanted them to continue to show up to the event. I wanted them to know someone stood beside them, because without ever telling them why, we understood exactly how they felt. And now it's time to say why. At our grand opening, a day that should have been a celebration, my wife was belittled and embarrassed in front of our invited guests and customers by the behavior of an organizer of Fiorella Friday. The description being shared publicly by vendors over the last week are unfortunately very familiar to us. For my part in the misunderstanding that led to the incident, I did apologize for the decisions I alone made. However, I also addressed the behavior because I have no doubt the organizers would never tolerate someone speaking to a customer, an employee, let alone a spouse, that way inside their own business. It should have gone without saying that it would not be tolerated in mine. I chose to raise those concerns in the Fiorella Friday business owners email chain rather than publicly, a courtesy that was never afforded to my wife. Despite knowing we would never receive an apology or even an acknowledgement of the organizer's behavior, we continue to support Fiorella Friday. We continue to promote it, and we continue to spend our own advertising dollars to help it grow. We did this because we believed the event was bigger than one business. We believed it belonged to the community. Today, I am having trouble holding on to that belief. When taxpayer dollars are used to close public streets and subsidize an event, the taxpayers of Castroville deserve fairness. No single private organizer should have the authority to decide which taxpayers benefit from public property and which taxpayers do not. If vendors are being excluded, if they are being discouraged in groups by the event organizers from discussing their concerns, if they are made to feel unwelcome simply for asking questions, or if it is being hinted that a brick and mortar store should remove social media posts, then this is no longer a community event. It is privately controlled and should be treated as such by the city. While we will always support the idea of Fiorella Friday, we can no longer support the direction it appears to be taking or the unchecked behavior of its organizers. And we do not believe the taxpayers of Castroville should be asked to support it either. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And is there anyone else who would like to make citizens' comments? Oh, sorry. I'd like to make one. To the podium, please. Name and address. Start.
Charles Johnson. I'm a member of American Legion Post 460, address 1305 Fiorella. We are in support of Fiorella Friday. We have several visitors that come by and visit us, mainly the veterans, and they made a lot of comments about the Fiorella Friday. They like it. They like what Castroville is doing, and they hope to continue that in the future. We had one veteran that came in that lives behind Walmart here, and he's an Air Force active duty veteran right now, and he made the comment that he liked what he saw, and he's going to go back and talk to his other neighbors that are also Air Force veterans, and to come down and support this event. I've been in Castroville since 1985. I've seen Castroville grow. I've seen a lot of changes here with the Fiorella Friday program. I've seen it come and I've seen it go because of vendors and store owners' remarks about not having business and Fiorella Friday only being in one area. Well, that's true. But again, it's a good event, and I hate to see it change in any way. That we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we rely on the proceeds we get from this event. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Anyone else who like to make citizens' comments?
Please, you don't fight. You're excited.
We actually encourage
It's a little.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Sila Melig, and our address is 1303 Lorenzo Street. My office is actually right above Overholt. I have a tax and accounting firm up there. I don't advertise it a lot, but I'm up there looking at everything. So my comments as far as Fiorella Friday go. I want to make a distinction between Fiorella Friday and the organizers, because Fiorella Friday is beautiful. It brings people out. It does a lot for our community. But I think that there needs to be a distinction between the event itself and the organizers. Yes, it brings a lot of people to our community. We all want that. We all profit from that. We all love the community that it builds, the encouragement that it builds. However, there needs to be accountability. At the moment, there is no accountability when it comes to, like what I do tax and accounting. There is no financial accountability. There is no transparency. And when taxpayers are supporting an event, we want to know, what are we supporting? And are the organizers willing to be transparent? To date, and correct me if I'm wrong, there has been no transparency. So my concern is just that. I would love to see the event continue if it's under the same name, a different organizer, a different committee that is controlling it. That's fabulous. But I do think that it needs to be put into the hands of whoever is interested in running it and in running it appropriately with transparency, with accountability. That's my take on everything. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else would like to make citizens comments?
Just be careful.
Name and address, please.
Jennifer Piami. I live at 709 Berlin. I recently, 2 days before the kerfuffle started, signed a lease at 1215 Fiorella to open, with the understanding that this town is slow for a business to take a risk on to open it, with the idea that at least once a month there's going to be this amazing event that we all love. And I guess I was just naive how it was put together. It never occurred to me it was run privately. It never occurred to me that the city would allow a private citizen to run an event. And I think it's great it got started. I think it's lovely. But I think if we want to be taken as a city that treats its business owners and its vendors and its community fairly, there has to be a committee. There has to be a group that runs it like a grown-up town would run it, not like a small town would run it, with fairness and transparency and all of the things. I think it's a super easy business decision for the city, and it would eliminate all of the drama if there were a collective. So that's my 2 cents. And please don't cancel it, because I need the feeling of that.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to make comment?
Hello, my name is Gina Franklin, and I live at 410 Holloman Parkway.
I'm sorry, what was the address?
410 Holloman Parkway. I'm here today to kind of be the voice of the vendors. I'm in Medina County. I'm not a local of Castroville. However, Varela Friday has been such a huge draw to all of the local towns and cities that it's the most desirable place to be a vendor at currently. Well, until very recently. And I just want to say that personally, I haven't had too many issues with Varela Friday until the current issue, but other vendors have. So I do think that what everybody said as far as accountability, fairness, just organization in general of how processes should be happening, how people should be paying, who should be paying, things of that sort. I think it needs to be a lot more streamlined. I do think that there's been some advantages taken from what I've witnessed in my 3-year journey at Varela. I also think that with the current coordinator, Varela Friday is going to be dramatically different in the upcoming months, just because vendors were treated so poorly last Friday that they have no interest in returning. So, and that's also been voiced in the vendor communities much deeper than any group just for Varela Friday. I mean, that's traveling in all the vendor groups throughout any nearby city. So I think it's definitely something that we need to grab a hold of and correct as fast as we can. Because I personally have invited at least 15 to 20 vendors to come to Varela Friday, and they've become regulars. And it's been our income. It's been our livelihood. I mean, we're families. We're just small businesses that come out on the weekend and hope people show up. And we brought everybody that we know to come out to Castroville and shop your shops too. So I know it would be devastating to us, but at the same time, we can't be treated the way that we were treated last Friday. And there's been no accountability, no apologies. And we're just all feeling very insecure of what the future might hold for us if somebody doesn't take this and do the right thing. And so that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you. Does anyone else make any comments? Name and address, please.
Sir. My name is Donita C. It's spelled Seay. I own A to Z Graphics. We were at 416 Paris Street. We are now moving just across the street at 407. I've been there for about 7 years or so. We've participated with Fiorella Friday since it was able to be brought back. I remember going as a kid, and it was great. I think it is an amazing event that happens in our city. It brings community together. We meet new people, and it is massively successful because of the vendors that come out here. For the businesses, yes, we're cool and people love us in this community. However, the vendors that come out are what helps draw more people to come out, and that benefits not only the vendors but us, the city, because that brings more money, people spending money in our town. With that being said, the events that occurred on Friday evening, I had heard that some changes were coming, and change has to happen for things to grow. I completely agree there. However, how the information was delivered to vendors and how they were spoken to and treated was by the organizers that are organizing it currently was very rude, very disrespectful. And I believe it significantly hurt the event, which in turn is going to hurt the businesses, hurt the vendors, the community, the city, all of the things. For events like this, especially due to the city subsidizing part of what goes in to make it successful, like electricity and all of that, I feel that we should be upholding a certain image, how we want to be perceived, we as the community of Castroville, how we want people to feel when they come here, that they feel accepted, that, they have a wonderful time in our town, they enjoy their time here so that they're wanting to come back. That's only going to help make everybody successful. But when things happen like this, it only hurts everybody. I feel like this event is beautiful and we should definitely not cancel it, but I feel that it really needs to be put into a different way of organization. I feel there should be like a community or a board to include somebody with the city, since the city is subsidizing, and decisions made as a group. With it, being one or two people, things can get construed as looking, one-sided or, just favoring different things. And that's not how to make any event successful. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Is there anyone else like to make citizens comments? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple fact issues. One is, because I can't discuss this, or council can't because it's not on the agenda, but I can provide a couple fact responses. One, it is the fact that the city of Castroville has silently participated in providing the use of the right of way, electric, security, trash, the barricades, things like that. Got it. However, I want to make sure everybody here understands that on Tuesday, the 14th, our upcoming city council agenda, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to read it to you. There's an item on the agenda for discussion and take action on the city of Castroville managing the monthly Fiorella Friday event. I'm going to be asking city council to support that decision, and the city of Castroville, moving forward, making council's decision, will be becoming the managing partner of that event as the city sponsored event. I just want to let y'all know that. Thank y'all for your comments, and that's where we're at. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the real fun.
Yeah, this is the real part, yeah.
Well, I just want to let you know, before you want to get appreciate it. Okay? We're working on it. Thank you. No, y'all want to stay. It's all that. Stay for the fun.
Snoring is not improved.
Okay. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. See you, Shana.
Take care.
Let me tell you something, folks. Time is everything. We're all going to work out this and we move on. Let me get out of your way, John. Don't you want to come up?
Come on, Gigi.
We're going to talk now. We're going to,
Oh, yeah, we'll bring yours.
first, before we do anything else, the first thing we're going to have a presentation and discussion on the hometown grid communications platform, telecommunications services that will support public works operations related to emergency outages and daily communications with the public. If you recall, we talked about that a little bit when we talked about the administration of the public works and the utility system, and we talked about seeking funding to move into this new program. So I think they were going to do a demo study over here. And so John, are we ready to roll? You are we ready to roll? Wait.
Do I need to turn?
You gotta turn on the TV.
No, it's
It
not.
is. Nothing but a blank screen.
You want me to turn the lights down so you can see better?
Yes, turn that one on.
You got it? Is that a little better?
Yeah. There he is. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, John, can you hear us?
I'm trying to get the display online so that I'll end up moving it back. I probably make people dizzy to see what I'm looking at.
He's on me. Yes, he said he was waiting for us to finish.
We're finished. We're talking. Clock's ticking.
He's muted. He's on. Yeah.
Be careful there, Chief.
Is it there?
Hey, we're ready. It looks like we're muted.
This side's not on.
Okay. Yeah, we're trying to talk to you now.
There's a little bitty screen.
You said you can't hear us.
I'm gonna say that's your office.
You can hear us all.
How about now? Can you hear anybody?
Can you put it on this side too? Because I've got the camera pointed here.
It was his office. Yeah, it was yours office.
Hey, John, can you hear us? Can we do it with a speaker? It's up all the way. John. Can you turn yours off mute?
Can we turn the TV here on?
Yes.
Because I'm trying to show it online and it's not coming up.
Hey, John, can you hear us?
I can't hear you.
We can hear you.
I'm not able to hear you. Let's see here.
You'll have to talk online. If it's not showing over here, so they're not going to see it.
Can't hear anything. Okay. Okay.
It's louder than the computer.
You're gonna speak
What's his name? John Pettit?
All right, John. We'll try with the speakerphone. If you want to go through.
Can you put it on the microphone?
I know.
I can hear you.
There he is.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can see you.
We can hear you, John. At a conference and brought it.
That's fine. You can't hear us.
I got agree with you. Can hear us.
Can you hear us, John?
Yeah, there's a lot of noise, but I can hear you on the speakerphone.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Just wing it. Keep going.
All right, so I'm not sure how much has been said there introducing this. So John, you want me to introduce myself, or have you already done
Yes,
that?
please.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is John Pettit. I'm the creator, founder of Hometown Grid. It's a family business based out of Kentucky, and we work with small utilities, mid-sized utilities on outage communication, outage maps, and texting with your community. And so far, just in the past few years, there have been over 60 utilities sign up for Hometown Grid, and it's really transforming a lot of communities across the country in very positive ways. Just it allows the utility to communicate directly with your residents and during outages, and even to notify them outside of outages, just of any issue related to their service, whether it be like a water oil advisory or a street closure. And so I'm excited to be showing this to you all today, and I'm going to run through a quick demo of this, and just feel free, I can't see you all, but feel free to holler anytime and ask me any questions as I go through this.
Okay.
So I'm going to have a real demo from my phone here, and I'm going to pretend that I'm there and my power just went out. Thank you for calling the city of Castroville. We're here to help. To report your issue by text message, press 1. To report your issue by voice, thank you. You'll receive a text message shortly. So the customer will receive a text message, and I just got that from you all. And I'm going to say, yeah, I've got dinner in the oven, and my power just went out at 409 Houston Street. Okay, you see, I just got a text right back from you all,
Yes.
and it's asking me for neighbors too. Yep, my neighbors are out, and they were all coming over for supper. And you all can feel free to call this number. I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, now it's asking me if I heard or saw anything. I heard loud boom. It also gave me a link to your all's public outage map. So you'll be able to link to this straight from your website or Facebook, where your customers will be able to see this and see the outages in the community and be able to call or text that number. So if anyone there wants to try this, it's live, the live system, and you can call that number or text that number right now to report an outage. I'm going to continue on with this unless you have any questions, but you're welcome to try this. So you can see also on the left-hand side of the screen is the utility's internal dashboard. So you've got the ability to see that everything that's going on, and you get more details on this as far as the conversation. You know, the public doesn't see everybody's conversations, obviously, but internally you'll be able to see those and jump into any of these at any time to respond or call the customers. And since I said I heard a loud boom, it's putting a tag on this, a label transformer. So that will tell the utility immediately what the customers have heard or seen, and it will show that to them where they don't have to wonder, you know, this is immediate feedback from your community. And there's an icon down here indicating that this may have seen or heard something that could help determine the source or the cause of the outage. Does anybody have any questions so far about what I've shown you to this point?
Does this notify the utilities at the same time? The city?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah, it acts as a dispatch tool, so the city can add as many users in here as you need. And you can check the boxes to which notifications the users need to receive. So you can have your line crew, and your water department and any of that on here getting those notifications, and they'll be routed to where they need to go.
One more question. Does it have an ability to screen misuse or erroneous calls?
I didn't quite get that. Does it have the ability to what?
To screen misuse or erroneous calls?
Oh, yes, it does. It screens all the messages and it filters out anything that it needs to. And customers can send in images as well, and it filters out those. But it also analyzes every single image and gives you feedback on those. So if somebody sends a picture of a broken pole or a down line, it will know that, and it will be able to give the utility feedback on exactly where that is. And it can also use that for any FEMA reporting if you ever have to do that. But it screens the calls and it filters all the images and messages.
Okay.
And you can,
Let me ask you a question. An individual resident, let's just say multiple calls start coming in sporadic all over the place. Does it just pinpoint an area of a problem and assess that, or does it keep sending the messages to the city for every one of those calls that come in? Because does it differentiate between, for example, my on-call guy, is he going to get 100 different calls, or are you just going to get one call?
No, you won't get 100 different calls. If you start seeing an outage all across the city, then the system detects that that's a large outage, and it will throttle those calls out to the crew, and it will also throttle those based on the outage area. So let's pretend that there's a few more outages around here. I'm going to draw this box, and as soon as that box is drawn, it will pause any of those calls that are inside that box. So you might have something else going on across town where you can do the same thing. You can draw another box over here, and then that will be a different outage, and then that will pause the calls inside that area.
What type of message will the callers receive when it's a multiple call area? Will they get just a busy tone, or will they just get a response in a certain area, or what type of response will somebody with a blanket area be given? Because right now it's different type of responses. So let me ask you that.
So in this scenario here, the crew or the office staff can click on this outage area, and they can say crew's been dispatched, the cause was tree interference, and it will go just to those users, just to those people that have reported in that area. And they can add a different message to the one over here, and they would get that message that is added right here. So that way, each outage area can have a different message, or you can include the whole town in one message if you wanted to. Does that answer the question?
Well, yes and no, because my question is, and I want to take on what you just said, staff would have to come and walk out the area. But until staff comes and walks out an area of an outage, would people still get the constant and it be reported?
Oh yeah. There's no busy signals or anything. I'm going to show you what this looks like in real time.
Okay.
During a large outage.
One more question when it comes to that large area, and I'm going to ask this. I hope our people don't do it, but things happen. Does a staff member have the ability to disable it, to stop the calls while they're working in an area?
You mean like to make it where customers can't communicate with you all?
Yeah, to shut it down. But basically, if there's starting to be a bunch of different calls all over, and I know because for just for fairness, I managed a system that my guys routinely would unplug it to stop the calls. And I worked here before where people would bypass No,
or the
no,
not being
no, I'm not wanting the community job report. I want to know if staff can minimize the number of calls they get.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, that's every call that you get, it will tell you how to do that. So when the staff gets a call, it will say, press 2 to pause these calls, and then you can pause them for the whole area. Yeah.
For a predetermined amount of time.
Yeah, and you can actually, the default is 1 hour, but you can actually text back and say pause for 6 hours or pause 3 hours, and it will understand that and will pause it for that period of time.
That's what I want to ask. That's what I want to know, because we used to be able to do that with an influx of calls that have run through your area. You can pause the calls for up to a certain amount of time. That's the question I was asking.
Yeah, definitely.
Do citizens have to sign up to do this notification or receive the notifications?
They don't actually have to sign up, and that's one of the benefits here is 100% of your community can use this because they're technically signing up by reporting the outage and wanting to hear back from you.
Well, what about the ones that haven't called, that's in a blocked area? How are they going to get notified?
They're in a what area?
They're in the area, but they have not called. It's in a block area like you were showing. It would send notifications out to every resident in that area. How does that happen?
There's a lot of echo. It sounds like you're far away. I want to be able to answer it, but I can't understand it.
He's walking over here to the phone.
Don't trip.
Okay, what I'm asking is, so you showed a block area for an outage and
Yes.
so if the citizen hasn't reached out to say, call in the outage, how are those individuals going to be notified? Do they have to sign up to be in the system to receive the notification, or how does that work?
No, they don't have to sign up, and if they're not in that block that I showed you, they can just call or text in to the number, and that will create a new outage. So they'll be able to report no matter what. Anybody can report to the system, even if they're not in the blocks right there.
But if they're not at home and how do they get the message saying that there's an outage in their area? How is their telephone number or something selected to get the message saying there's an outage in your area?
If you're not at home,
Yeah.
it can be done in a few different ways. The main way would be to use the hometown broadcast where your utility can actually select areas of town. I'll show you that. You can say, you need to select this area, and it will pull up all the numbers in that one area, and they can just type a message. I'm not going to send it, they would actually send it. And there's an outage in this area, and here's what's going on. So that's the main way they're going to do it for the ones that aren't reporting an outage.
So John, if they have a utility that within the city, they have a phone number in our database already. And I think that's what she was trying to say. If they're out of town, how is she gonna know who lives at that house? How are they gonna know that there's an outage at her house and she's out of town? Somebody's away from the house. And we get that off the data that we have already, right? That we give it.
So we're going to scrub our data then, because I still don't receive messages from you guys.
We don't have this yet.
Well, no, I
No,
mean,
from iInfo,
for
right?
iInfo.
And you're signed up, right?
I have been signed up and have never received it, so are we going to scrub our data?
We're gonna import the data, everybody who has a utility account, yes, that information, but we have to send out updated information to get
Correct.
numbers. Yes.
Correct. Because that's the
So-
only way it's going to work,
So
right?
John, the question is that right now our current system that we use is called iInfo, but in order to use iInfo, the resident has to sign up for that service. Hometown Grid, if you have a utility account within the city of Castroville, you're automatically, if you're doing anything for utility business, it's automatically, you have the authority to send a message out, so we're asking.
through the broadcast, you can, anything that's related to utility business, you can send those messages out proactively.
We need to scrub our data.
With existing information.
Correct. Yeah, we have to do like a mass send out, update your phone numbers.
With your utility bills,
Yes.
send it out.
Yes.
So you have one number right now, so.
But just to clarify though, like for this system to use, be used for outage reporting, you don't have to scrub any data. You don't have to worry about that at all. And that's one benefit because anybody can call into the system and report an outage. Now, if you're out of town, then obviously the phone number would need to be accurate. You need to be notified of that. But otherwise, this lets the whole community report outages immediately without having to match your internal system.
John, let me ask you a question, okay? And if I misunderstood you, I get it. You out of Tennessee?
Kentucky.
Kentucky, well, I was close, okay? Did I hear you say that you guys got this on like 60 systems?
Yeah, it's actually 64 utilities that are using it.
All right, do me a favor and tell me how many in our area.
How many what?
How many systems in the Castroville, San Antonio area are currently using the system?
There are none other than you all at this point. You're the first one to contact in Texas.
Okay, so there's no one else in Texas?
No, not.
Okay.
But
Okay, I just wanted to ask because sometimes it's nice to be able to, I appreciate the demos and I appreciate what it is and I like the concept here, but it's really sometimes nice to actually see it in action. Or at least talk to somebody that's using it. So if you,
a lot of references. You need that. That would be fine.
yeah, so if you have some that are maybe comparable size, that we might be able to check on and see how they're working with it, what's going on. Is that something like that? And of how many of your clients, not that it matters, own all the utilities? Because we have them all. That shouldn't make a difference, though, right?
Yeah, there's several that have all of these. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I'll show you while you're, is one that I thought about before this meeting. That's pretty much exactly your own size, or very close to it. Water Valley, Mississippi.
Okay.
They're, and so you've got, this is their actual login here, and they've got the different, they don't have gas on theirs, but they've got everything else.
Right.
And I want to show you what it looks like here. They went through an ice storm recently, and this is, they're about 2,200 meters, I think, 2,200 customers.
Okay.
And hometown lookout. So this shows you all the customer images that were sent in during this ice storm recently. And so they're all being analyzed. And this system, and they've got the damage assessment tool here where you can see the hotspots of all the damage across town. And let's see. And then a replay of this one. So we can select any area here and move this out of the way. There we go. You can select any area of town, actually see all the damage that's been reported, and you can zoom in on that to see all the images that have been sent in by the customers. You've got a calculator to show you how long it might take to restore the power. And this is, just this one outage a few months ago in Water Valley. You can export this to Excel to view all the data, all the automatic data that's coming in on all this damage in Water Valley. And they actually wanted me to come down there in particular because they just said they would have no idea what they would have done in this outage without Hometown Grid. And the whole community just used this for 6 days or so during this outage. And it was just huge for them. And this is the report they ran after that outage. So you see all the information they were able to get from this system without having to enter anything in manually. So all of these outage reports came during that ice storm, and they were able to capture all of that and have real-time information. So there are several utilities in your size range that are using this. Water Valley stands out They use all the different departments, and this is their the replay of their outage during that storm. See all the things that it's telling them: wires down, transformer issues, trees on the line. And this is real time without the utility having to even drive out to see these places, because sometimes the storm happens so quickly. But the one that comes to mind is Water Valley, and this is that replay of their ice storm. There are many other ones in this size range, but obviously none in Texas. Y'all are the first contacted. But, just a week or two, it's spread to Washington State, to Florida, to South Carolina. And it's, spreading rapidly across the country, which is exciting to see the positive benefit to communities just like.
I think it's a good thing, but there's a lot of things to questions, and I'm gonna kind of wrap it up. If you guys get a call, do you provide any directions on what people should do, or you just say we're forwarding the call and going on? The reason I ask that is just out of curiosity. If somebody was to call you, for example, this hometown grid, and they had a gas leak, and she's out, and they were saying we smell gas so strong. Can you provide any direction or advice? Or you just say, okay, we'll forward it. Have a nice day.
Well, they would go directly to your utility. The hometown grid doesn't answer that. It would go directly to your gas on call crew, and they would be to handle that.
Okay, so and I'm okay with that. I just wanted to clarify. When somebody calls, they're talking to a AI or computerized voice that will forward it to our on-call people.
Yes.
Okay.
But at the same time, John, can we create a message, an automatic message as well?
Oh yeah, you can. You can have custom responses, and you can even go to a real person there. And they don't ever talk to AI on this. They're texting, and it has automated responses with AI, but there's no AI. The ones that use this for gas, for example, have it go directly to the gas crew. And it says if you smell gas, then please leave the area. And that sort of those cautionary safety measures that have been processed and verified by all the utilities using it for that, and then it would send it directly to your on-call crew for gas.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Is this a web-based program, or is there a systems package that comes with software, router, server, storage, or does Hometown Grid manage that from y'all's location in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's all web-based, and we host it on Amazon Web Services, so it's got redundancy built in, so you don't have to install anything at all at your location.
Okay, so data privacy or I guess cloud services, that would be also included into the overall price?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any handheld devices that our operators can take out to the field when they're addressing an outage, or how do they update while they're in the field?
That differs from utility to utility. However, you all would want to do that. Some use their company iPads or company iPhones. A lot of utilities will use their personal phones, just depending on how the utility operates.
Okay. Thank you.
Nicole, did you have any questions? Shannon?
Yes. If software issues are encountered, how is that handled?
You can always contact us at Hometown Grid, and we'll handle that.
Okay. And my other question is for the city. Knowing how wonderful our internet and cell phone service is here in Castroville, what is our backup plan to notify our citizens what's going on? If you know what I mean. We have a huge dead zone here in the middle of town that rears its head all the time. So what is our backup plan? And that needs to be part of our versus preparedness stuff of how to notify citizens.
Yeah, currently it's Facebook and Nextdoor.
But that's something we need to think of. not just, oh, we're gonna go to this, no, because when Snowmageddon happens, if it happens again, you know what happened, we got had nothing.
What we did, just so you know, and I know it's off on a tangent, but what we did 25 years ago, 20 years ago, on the work director's trial
Yep,
and the PD,
Yep.
all had PA speakers, and they were there to broadcast around town.
I drove around my district during Snowmageddon and people, trying to find people.
We did it through PA.
Yeah, but I mean, we need to have that
I understand.
backup. Okay, that's all I have.
We do.
You got anything like that?
Just one thing that as a council, we should discuss that next year. I'll say it's a define that.
Okay, on this particular issue, do you have a question?
No.
Mr. Strawberry? No? Okay. Anything else? Thank you very much for the presentation, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then we can go from there.
Thank you, John. Yeah, you're welcome. Hope you have a good day.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go forward. Oh, good. We're gonna do the rest of the stuff really quick. We're gonna do my agenda. Budget workshop number 8, discussion only, because we can't make decisions in a workshop. We're gonna have the water utility, wastewater utility today. So who's going first?
Water.
Water, you wanna stay in order?
Yeah.
Water,
Can I start off with a question?
sure you can.
This is included admin, is admin included?
They're in the numbers.
Okay.
They're in the numbers.
Yeah, that's
They're in the numbers.
why.
Establish that early.
That's why I built that one.
So just to wrap it before we begin, again, all the numbers you see there do include admin. The notes are from the initial onset, so some of the notes may not be relevant, but we're gonna do our best to get going with this, and then of course in the next couple of weeks, we bring back a clean budget that does not have the admin, that it's strictly just the department budget and nothing else. So that's the goal that we're looking to make on that part. So,
This is the last budget workshop?
yes, sir. As far as department wise, yes.
Department-wise. Okay, after, just so everybody's clear, what the intent is this is why we're trying to figure it out now. We got till the end of July, basically we have to present a proposed general fund budget to the city secretary to publish the, not final, it's proposed. And we're required to do a general fund budget, we try to postpone. So we've got 2 weeks, let's say, working together, and it's extremely important that if you have any particular things you want to talk about, get them to me, get them to Leroy, we'll put them in our final draft proposed, get it out to you as quick as we can, so on the 28th meeting, we'll be adopting a proposed budget.
I'm sorry, 28th of what?
July, we're gonna do a proposed budget so you can publish things. Okay, because I want that council to approve that proposed budget. I think that's the schedule that we have to do.
Yeah, so I know in the past when you approved, so if we decide to approve the budget, approve the budget, the first meeting in September, say September 15th.
Let's
Well-
see something square what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the council's gonna do a proposed budget, and then we can start the public hearing processes, because there's no budget that will be finalized till after the public hearing.
I understand that it's 30 days prior to the time of approval, so you submit the proposed budget.
To me.
That's what I'm saying, for it.
I thought I seen on the schedule by the end of July.
Mm-mm.
That's why I was making all these numbers.
Mm-mm.
I'll go back.
It's 30 days prior to the approval
Right.
of the budget is when you submit that to.
We count backwards. Yes, sir.
We'll talk more about that later. You gotta have something that's preliminary before you advertise for a public hearing. Okay, yes, ma'am. Let me ask, it's my, okay, JJ, how many full-time people, full-time equivalents do you have in water?
Currently, there's myself and 5.
So there's 6. 6. Six total. 6 full-time equivalents.
But Mike is going to be looking at it.
So how many are in this budget?
This year will be 5.
5 is this budget.
In this current budget, there's 6.
I understand that, but it's proposed, it's what we're talking about.
Correct.
There'll be 5. 5 full-time equivalents. I went 5, 6, and now I'm back to 5. Okay, okay. Out of those 5, how many of our licensed water operators?
All five.
All 5.
Yeah.
How many of those licensed water operators also hold a CSI?
Myself.
2. How many of those 5 operators also serve and held back both facility tester licenses? 2. Okay. So there's 2 people that are fully qualified to do everything we have by license, by everything we have in water.
Yes.
Okay.
We also have another C operator. Yes, we didn't have any judges.
No, I understand it. I said all 5 are licensed, and of the 5 that are licensed, 2 have BPAPs, 2 have CSIs.
Yes.
Got it. Understand.
Are they the same 2 individuals for both? Are they the same 2 individuals for both?
Yes.
Well, one's out of town, the other one better be at work.
Yes.
Well, let me qualify that. The city has 3 separate water systems that make up the city. And they have requirements for certain licensing requirements. There is no requirement for the city to have a BPAP, and there's no requirement for the city to have a CSI. But if the city has a CSI and a BPAP, then the CSI, which is required inspection for office services or participation or major renovation, we can do those. The BPAP testing that people have these, we can do those. So there's things that we can do. We're not required to do those,
Right.
but we have. So when you talk about the life of people being here, it's argumentative based on the number of connections, but we should have 2 licensed operators here at all times.
Right.
Since he has 5, he's in pretty good shape. That's my opinion. How many of those 5 are operating equipment? 2. Backhoe and excavator?
Yes.
And you're one of those.
Yes.
You have a trencher?
No, sir.
You want one? Wait a minute, let me re-qualify that. Do you do any, is your requirement primarily maintenance, or you actually see construction from time to time?
We have done it in the past, but primarily maintenance.
Primarily maintenance. Or if you do some reconstruction, it's very limited in small amounts.
Yes.
That may not sound like it, but yeah. How many people do you put on call when you have one?
Just one.
One. Just for people that don't know this, it's a 7-day-a-week job.
Yes.
Every day, weekends and holidays, facility sites to check for operations.
Yes.
So there's always 100% accurate, at least that.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure people. All right. Anybody have any questions? Well, again, you'll see office supplies, first supplies. Okay.
Thanks for keeping your janitorial supplies.
All right, go ahead. Your chemicals are chlorine, right?
Yes.
Is everything gas?
Yes.
We import gas also too. Fuel and oil. Yeah. $4,000 increase.
How many vehicles do you have?
There's 3, and then we'll be getting 1 back. Yeah.
3.
So the reason for that jump was the generator.
Yeah.
About 700 gallons, to initially fill. Then we
Do you have them on an exercise program?
Yes.
Automatic? all have residential silencers?
Uh,
One back here, does it have a residential silencer on it?
For like an alarm or?
No, for the muffler.
And it fires up and the neighbors hear it running.
No?
They're not as loud as that old living.
Okay.
But I don't see.
The reason I'm asking is the wastewater plant originally, 20 years ago, had a residential silencer on it because of the noise associated with it. It's still quiet, it's still loud. But it had a silencer and it had a blanket wrapped around it and all that noise. Trying to take the sound out. I was just curious if you had one.
To be honest, I'm not sure. I know they're not as loud as the older ones.
Okay, I know this is in hindsight, but I'm just asking, why weren't they connected to natural gas? This is physically counted here, they're not mobile.
That, I don't know.
That fuel's less, I mean, you have 80 probably especially with diesel.
Yes.
Especially with today's diesel. Yep. Are you using either diesel or off-road diesel? For the generators? Do you haul the fuel or do you have it running?
The initial fill we had to run it, we installed a 100-gallon tank.
That can only, since you put it off-road in, it can use off-road. The back. So put it in its run. What do you think about it?
Luckily, all of our choices, yes.
Okay. I'm just curious, do you understand what I'm asking? When you have a fixed space generator on the gas system, it should be connected to the gas system.
Yes.
I mean, that's hindsight.
Yeah.
For future reference.
That's how we work for hospitals, we have to have emergency backup.
So I just thought I'd ask that, okay, who's your fuel supply?
We went through both of those.
Everything goes to you use fuel cards?
Well, to fill up that 100-gallon tank, we used it, but normally we use the Valley Mark. I think we also use Walmart.
Yeah, fuel card.
We have fuel card.
Okay. Leroy, did you ever get me an answer on that one? You guys realize that we pay sales tax when we buy the pump. And at Walmart, it was, you have to pay the sales tax, and then you have to file documents at the end of the year to recover the sales tax because you bought bulk sales tax, you're exempt from one of the sales tax, like 18.5 cents a gallon. The city doesn't have to pay. So I was just curious, what are we doing on that? Because that adds up. You don't have to talk about that, that's a matter. Okay.
We use a lot of
I know you do. The city does as a whole, and that adds up when we talk about the fuel taxes. Okay. Everybody go check that, please. I'm sorry, I don't want to take, you got a question?
That was for.
I lost my spot, so I was going back and forth. Okay, so I know I brought this up last time we spoke to the city engineer, and I don't think I asked a clear question. So, each year departments are requesting a budget for a city engineer. Is there a planning document, because it looks like most of the notes are, what does it say, infrastructure improvements. Is there a planning document that states that next year we plan on improving X, Y, and Z collectively as an entire public works department? Because I don't know, I just don't see it like, okay, so water's gonna do this project, gas is gonna do that project, this and that, and I don't foresee budgeting, $300,000 next year for city engineer. I don't know exactly how those projects.
I'm really, but I'm just going to make this short. We had a study done years ago. Water system improvements. We have CIP, which we're probably talking about. All those projects. But I don't recall what's ever prioritized.
Okay.
So, if I collectively set them all, or maybe you say, do that one, or do this one, or do that one. There's a couple we've talked about, but overall, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I know there's a whole laundry list of projects.
Right. In the past, we've had a 10-year plan where we had all our projects kind of like we talked about and it had them all listed per year by priority. Also, you see.
It was a spreadsheet, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it became, and that was the document we've been, at least I have been expecting and asking
For
for
over a year.
all this time. That way we can rack and stack projects to get them done.
Priorities, it may be a priority this year, but something else may be.
Correct.
And that priority this year may be in 3 years.
That way we don't have stuff fall off the wayside.
Have to reassess them.
Yes,
Nothing goes away, it's just,
correct, you have to do your rack and stack.
you have to be prioritized. No, I'm sorry.
No, that's a great explanation. So no, there's a document out there that we can dust off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then my second question, line item 602, equipment purchases. So you're asking for an increase of 10,000 basically for next year to support phase 2 gas station oats for the purchase of meters. Now, we spoke last budget meeting, the bench shop request for like transformers.
Oh, the gas guys for 87 years.
Yes. So, for growth though, not to replace the growth he's right into the bags of cash flow. So I think your bench shop, they requested less money for next year because of supposedly the developer's gonna provide the transformers or whatnot. But then for water, he's anticipating the growth of phase 2 of Los Angeles. So is the city liable for the growth? Do we purchase meters for the developers to install? That's an agreement? Okay. And that makes, the numbers make sense.
Don't be charged.
Okay.
Generally speaking, the developer, and I don't know what all the past agreements were, but if you're asking me, what I've talked to recently, the developer is responsible for the cost of all the infrastructure.
Okay.
The developer runs the service tax for each line. When a request for services in, there's a fee paid to the city puts in the meter right after it gets the service. That's the way it's theoretically supposed to be.
Okay.
So
Is that a set cost? Does that cover the meter? And
That's in the fee schedule.
it's on a fee schedule, is how it is, it's for the cost.
We gotta bring that.
It's a good chunk of change.
For the size of the meter to change. Bigger meter than
It is generally, the ideal thing is, yes, it's set to cover the cost of the material and the manpower, the cost of actually putting it in. Doesn't always do that because you have to balance act with true cost and how much you really want to charge. So it's a balance thing. So, yeah, generally speaking, yes.
Yeah, for budget purposes, we know that if we budget for it, we're getting that in return.
Correct, so if you're budgeting for 100 meters out there, the budget is, we're going to get 100 connections out there.
Okay. So,
Yes, those are all.
Oh. You have some questions, ma'am?
So lucky the next library, not
Okay, yes, fair enough. I'm interested.
yeah. Our bench stop, not that it went up so much, but we have about 40% of unbench stop. And that's covering that 40% of the increase in the new development.
Yes, sir.
Is that what it is?
Yes, sir. So at the rate Al Station Oaks was building, it's roughly 60 meters per year, which is about 20,000.
Okay.
So if Black Creek builds at the same rate, that's going to be
Yeah,
more
it's still
40,000 a year.
years. Okay. And if you could explain to me, there's not an issue with the utility expenses, 250. What would minor fluctuations in our utility costs? What are those? Give me an example of a minor fluctuation. 250 utility expenses, and then remarks, routine usage and minor fluctuations in utility costs. What causes a minor fluctuation?
You should expect the, right, this is the building cost, you're running, this is the department, correct? It's 250.
Oh, 250, correct.
Yeah, that's for the utility cost of the building.
Now remember, there's a bid cost in there.
Oh,
Oh, so that's the utility.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So it's not really fluctuating.
Yes.
Okay, I get on them.
It's
Actually,
utilities
okay,
that they pay, yeah.
let me help you a little bit more. That utilities expense is a portion of it is
Correct.
the wells, operating the wells.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the pumps.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's paid.
Generator, all that.
So even though we own the electric, each one's got its own pays so. Now the airport well and the one out there at Indian Valley out there on the east side, we pay direct CPS for those things.
Right. Those are operational costs.
So those are the utilities.
Right. When I see fluctuation.
Oh, the fluctuation.
Oh, sometimes we use a lot, sometimes we don't.
Well, in that respect, it's based on water demand.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, but you're right. When I see those words, yeah, you're right.
And as of the end of June, we already spent about $25,000 on that.
45,000.
And you know how much you try to pay, right?
No, sir.
I didn't think so. Yeah, please.
All right, under Bettenstock, the note states hydrant maintenance, i.e. inspection, lubrication, and flushing of our fire hydrants. How often is this done for the private public ones?
What's, so the flushing, our dead ends are flushed once a month.
For the fire hydrants?
Yes, ma'am. Just our dead end mains.
So once a month for the public?
We say public.
Well, on the notes here, it says, this also includes hydrant maintenance and system flushing materials necessary to maintain system reliability and service levels. So, how often are we doing this?
It's our dead end mains once a month. The others, not too often. Get kind of funny looks when we start flushing hydrants, when they don't need to be flushed. When we're in drought and water restrictions.
But still,
But you're right, they should be exercised. And we're working on starting an exercise program
okay,
for the hydrants and valves.
what about commercial and HOA? What was the requirement for that? Because you have listed here public and private. And under private, it's also commercial and HOA. How often are they required?
Where do you see that? It's not in there.
Okay, never mind. All right, so where's this documentation maintained for the, when you flush the hydrants?
The dead end flushing, so we have a paper that we fill out. And
For the fire hydrants?
For the dead end main flushing, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We fill it out and then CRA puts it.
Yeah, it's in a database.
Hang on,
And
hang on. You're asking two different things.
Yeah.
Make sure you understand. Okay, you got two different things running concurrent. It's not only the dead end things which are required by rule to do, and I'm sure you have a map of which one's flush. I believe, if I may, there's 80 other fire hydrants. What do you do to maintain those? That I've phrased it a different way.
yes,
How do you maintenance on those?
how often do you maintain those?
Operate, exercise your valves, and things like that.
We don't do like we should. We don't have the staff and the time to do that. We are gonna start putting together something that's the exercise program. So
And the reason because this is here in the notes, and one year we had a fire just down the road from my house, had fireworks and ignited a neighbor's back fence, and it had propane tanks there, and they exploded. And they went to tap into the fire hydrant there in front of Chrissy Flanagan's house. And we were like, does it even work? Nobody knew, it had very little pressure. That's why I'm asking.
So
We really need to be vigilant about this, because we're here listing that
right.
we do the maintenance of our fire hydrants and the lubrication and everything. We really need to be vigilant.
Well, yeah, on the addition to that too is just overall valve maintenance.
Yes.
Exercising.
Right.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
And we do tag our hydrants that are out of service. That way the fire department knows. And then we also have, what was that, John? That Amanda started. She they basically went to every hydrant. They tried the GPN and stuff like that, the ones that were non-functional.
And do you share that information with the fire chief?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. He's got all that.
Because that helps with,
That was insurance part as well. right?
yeah, because every so often they go around the district to update our insurance stuff, which would lower our insurance rates if we get a better rating. So we may want to start getting vigilant on that one.
They ever test flow one to try to suck the water main out of the ground?
Was that a fire department?
Yeah, put a pumper on there just to see that they can't get the flow? To verify what they've been told the flow is?
Oh, not to my knowledge. I'm not.
Yeah,
That's all right, yeah.
that's part of emergency
Put a
preparedness.
pumper on it, who tested it? Yeah, they will suck your main out of the
Oh,
ground.
yeah.
We did send an email out to
Oh,
the
yeah.
guys to do some testing and whatever they were doing their own training, just because of our loss as well. It helps us account for it. So,
Oh, yeah.
hey, you're
Oh, yeah.
certified.
No.
Yes, they're certified, that's a big.
How many offices do you have, Jaden?
Well, just one. I share one with Tyler.
Where do you perform your counseling, feedbacks, and appraisals of your subordinates?
Usually in that office, I'll ask Tyler for home.
So under TCQ, the note shows we have already surpassed the approved $5,000 as of April. When will council be presented a request for budget amendment for this item?
The amendment will come until it's, we get final budget amendment.
Under water rights purchase, alright, right here. I thought we bought some this year.
We did.
Okay, because it's blank, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
End of the year.
Because it says 2026, there's nothing. Water rights purchase?
Last
They didn't come out of
page.
operating budget. Bless you. Did not come out of operating budget, it came out of the special fund.
But still, there should be a note or something there.
Am I right, Leroy?
It came out of the water acquisition
Came out of
fund.
water acquisition, which is a special fund, it didn't come out of operating budget.
Just a note that way.
Understand?
Outside services, who conducts the inspection on the water systems being installed in the new developments?
That would be Ron.
Okay. Training. I heard you already talked about how many are trained on the backhoe. You require a certain amount of CEUs every year.
Yes.
Where does your training normally take place?
A lot of it nowadays is online. There's a team's training building on Southwest, so that's the closest and easiest to get.
What is covered under public education?
That's part of the annual budget.
Yeah. Yeah, $100 education, so that's like hands. It's not hands. Equipment and maintenance. Why does this go up $4,895?
Well, one is the new generators. We have those on a maintenance schedule now.
Okay.
So we have a total of about 5 emergency generators that we have to maintain.
Oh, yeah, oh, no, I understand that.
And then we got our backhoe, we excavator.
Okay. What are the condition of the 3 vehicles you mentioned? How well are they?
So our 2 service vehicles are fairly new, my vehicle's fairly new. Colorado, it's a little older, it's more travel vehicles. Oh, and then, I'm sorry, we do have another Ford, we retired it and then brought it out of retirement.
It's past the 10 year,
Yeah.
it's limited.
Forgot about that. Mike needed a truck to pull the off.
I see him when he pulls through the hardware. Under safety equipment, how often do you replace your PPE for you and your employees?
As needed, as far as the safety glasses, gloves, the small stuff. Yes, ma'am, as needed.
Okay. Is $9,000 enough to get all the safety equipment you guys should have?
I believe so. Some of our bigger purchases, we probably need to get some more flooring. Absolutely. I think we only have one set, so, yeah, so maybe not.
Sure.
And, we want to get some harnesses for, start practicing to climb our own campuses or.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
You, excuse me, on the short end, you only have one 4-foot short?
Yes, sir. Our plan was to buy one and then another one the next year.
8 foot, 4 by 8?
4 by 8.
Must be 5 foot.
Is that what we're at?
I believe so.
So we have one,
We have one.
and this is the year to next year. Is that hydraulic?
Yes.
You mentioned rigging in here, do you guys have a confined space program?
No, sir. No, sir. We take classes, but we're not certified.
You're not certified. Okay.
You don't get any of our tanks or anything.
No.
Who does you take inspections?
That's the one.
Same with wire iron.
Or what do you pay him? You go pay inspection.
About $1,000.
Woo.
You have one with you, yeah?
Does that fall underneath our,
You do,
services?
you do
Yes,
understand,
Does?
you do understand, Sheena, that a licensed water operator with a C license or higher can sign off on the tank inspection. You don't have to hire someone.
Yeah, I know, that's why I was,
So they can be done by our in-house staff
correct.
and with the assistant engineer if needed for a lot of money. Just thought I'd ask.
Oh, no, that's why that was gonna be one of my next questions, but you beat me to the punch.
Okay.
So, cause I'm thinking the same thing. You guys have to do confined space, education,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
confined space education, you guys have to do for any of that training.
I've taken some in the past. It's been a while. We just kind of have a general understanding of it. Like I said, we're not trained. Certified. But we don't make it. So, yeah, we don't.
Oh, sorry. Houston, sir.
Actually, I was gonna go back to Cole, you ready? You wanna follow up?
Good.
Go ahead.
I will pick up when I feel it.
So you wanna wait? So,
No,
I was gonna give you an opportunity.
I'm good.
So back to the outside service contract, we got and then we bump over to the next page, with the 80,000 on utility system maintenance, but in this budget, that what the 100 is this stuff that we just don't have the
What is?
It's outside contract.
Yes, sir. That's, it's numerous contractors who use, electricians who use a lot. So we just have close to the electric done on that account. 38,000.
38,000.
Yeah.
It's part of the generator install.
No, well, they had to be done to install the generator. They had that $250,000 also.
I don't want to add it, around 40.
Yes, sir. That has to be upgraded.
And change the motor?
They didn't change the motor. They put a soft start.
So most of that's electrician.
A lot of it is. A lot of it is. We have a playground in the airport. That probably will under outside contract labor.
What do you use for electrician?
Future, yes, sir. And we went out for quotes on that, and they were. And actually, a couple of them there we got back.
Got it.
But this is work we just had done this year.
Yeah.
And we're looking for, so we're gonna see a budget amendment for that one too?
Well, all of our electric has been upgraded except for here.
Well, no, I mean, are we gonna see a budget amendment? For the $38,000?
No, I think.
It says 118,000.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
My last, this, I'm just curious, last page on the interest and principal page, I know, but, I mean, I'm just curious what
You would have to do that.
I don't have it with me, but.
That's okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right, is there any other questions on the water? If not, let's move on to wastewater.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
You tell Joe I was nice.
All right,
Take
wastewater.
it easy on that.
Our first question is, how many FTEs do you have in wastewater? You know what an FTE is? I'm sorry, I know what an FTE is, full-time equivalent. How many
Not JJ.
employees? Three in the wastewater, yes, sir. Right. Do the people, are those people, including yourself, only dedicated to the wastewater plant, or do they come out and actually work on the wastewater system?
You have a dual water, or dual license for water as well. A third is planning to be, so all three of us actually do.
No, I'm only, you're new to wastewater. My question was, and I think you just answered, I just want to make sure, are they assigned primarily to wastewater plant, or they actually come out and do anything else for wastewater?
We are assigned primarily to the wastewater plant, but, we do help out in system.
Well, yeah. You do the lift stations, how many lift stations do you have? Five lift stations? Those have to be checked every day. So let me ask you a question, when you're on call, was the water, wastewater combined use, or do we have a separate one? Okay, so whoever does on call checks the wells and the wastewater facilities. Good. All right, thanks. Yeah. We'll stop on that. Anyone else ask questions?
Okay,
I got more, but I'm just
wait,
gonna give everybody an opportunity.
Under,
Just like everything else, there's admin costs.
oh yeah, I know that, yeah, I will think about that.
Okay.
Under chemicals, does $40,000 adequately cover all the chemicals you need to keep the wastewater treatment plant functioning properly?
It does. Use gas, right?
Gas pouring, yes.
Gas pouring,
Yes.
they, they got to maintain the residual of your discharge.
Yes, sir.
So that coordinator's running 24/7.
It is, got a full base now though, so,
You use 150s or you use tons of silver?
On your outside services, what triggered this to jump $280,000?
Yeah, that's gonna be, we're gonna televise, we are gonna televise, the old West Castroville, the sewer lines.
Was the CCTV?
The last time you smoke tested it?
has not been done.
Okay, so it's been 20 years.
I thought we had.
I'm not against camera room, I understand that, but you guys understand smoke testing, you see the animals are spent to do it. That tells you the integrity of the system. Doesn't tell you everything. If you're looking at your display system,
I thought we'd done it.
So do you really feel like covering this entire system is a necessary need?
Absolutely.
I'm there.
Yeah, that's no system, and it's 15 years past now. I think the best option is CCTV.
What do you hope to find?
Bad pipe, good pipe, everything, condition, current condition of pipe.
I guess, you know, to think about when I see this number, that big thing, from one year to the next, and I don't know too much about it. When I look at the justification, to me, it states that we haven't done any type of maintenance whatsoever.
In 2002, after the flood, we covered some systems that we could be able to replace. It was a little bit regular shifts and paying out for all line, not enough to justify the amount of money required to replace this.
But are some of these things listed here, isn't that just regular overhaul?
You have a small push camera, but you can get underwater real quick. This is hiring somebody, outside contractor coming in, to either plug the upstream and camera, the line to 911, or do a full. They'll give us a report, give you additional time.
This price is
rated.
John, somebody's part of our state.
They're gonna be, yes.
So is this price for the entire system or just for a portion?
I don't know, just a portion.
Which portion?
We're gonna try and mirror the water line. We'll try and mirror the water line.
But to take it back, so if we do this, for instance, that means that, again, we're gonna be paying the same dollar amount.
I'm still confused. If you're not having problems in the area, then why would you concentrate on concerns? Why would you concentrate on those?
If I was to go through that, I'd say we won't have problems.
Thank you. That's what I was asking. The gravity flow system generally works.
But I was under the understanding that we're over the out in Edwards, we're supposed to televise our system every 5 years.
I'm not aware of that.
What about, did we ever get the part that's messed up, that was messed up in between the Dodge dealership and the, Truckers part?
No, that's. But I do want to.
We should see that on CIP then?
Oh, yes. I'm gonna, for the Band-Aid, for the Band-Aid, we're trying to seal the manholes, so the next, final next, we're going up to the church. That's something that I should want to do. I got prices for that too.
During the recent maintenance, how much did you get? Did you bust the permit?
The recent, no.
Did you go over 50% of the permit club?
Nope.
Okay, so with all the I&I with the recent flooding rains, you still didn't go over 50% of the permit club. I'm not justifying I&I, but I'm saying, during that major rainfall event.
Well, you understand you're asking about like a monthly number. So, and we're so far under the rest of the month.
I'm gonna ask you daily flows.
But if you were to take our average for that day,
No,
we did.
the daily flow, yes.
Yeah, yes, for the day we did what we did bust.
Okay, you didn't bust the permit.
No, sir.
Good.
Under TCEQ, how much do we pay for our violations regarding the ponds until it's rectified?
I can answer this, not an ongoing violation.
Okay.
The violation was noted multiple years ago.
Yes.
My understanding of the record still was, basically agreed upon. Generally, TCQ, if you give them what you're gonna do and you stick to it, they generally will.
Okay.
So the issue is getting it resolved.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yes, ma'am. It's when you ignore them that you get this.
Sludge disposal. How much have we spent on this to date? Sludge disposal?
You use a press and you put it in a roll-off?
Yes, sir.
Do we still do the pumping from between the Dodge dealership and the Tractor Supply? I know at one point we would pump it out. Does it look flowing? No? Okay. Training, how many CEUs do you have to have a year?
Well, for continued education, it's 30, but,
How many of your operators, all three of you licensed?
yes, sir. Okay. But some are still elevating in their climb, so they're gonna need more CEUs to increase the next level.
So are you Class C or Class A?
A.
You're an A? Okay. The other two are
A B and a D.
A B and a D, okay. Have you looked at taking any of the courses that the EPA, has offered for wastewater treatment plant employees?
I get emails and stuff for them sometimes, and I have taken some, attended some webinars.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that's the extent of that.
Okay, because yeah, they have water, wastewater utility, all hazards boot camp. They have technical assistance webinar series, energy efficiency for water and wastewater utilities, and the National Free Treat Program training webinars.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
okay. I didn't, now, does that count towards your CEUs that you would need?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Equipment purchases. Are the VFD and gearbox the only pieces of equipment that need to be purchased?
No.
Okay,
No, we.
Line item
602. That's what was purchased, that's what was put here, so I wanna make sure if we need stuff.
There is other things, I believe the most pressing one, there's the two that I believe would be pressing, that are kind of connected, related to our reuse, water, and that was going to talk about being on the CIP, as well as, it would be maybe a joint venture between us and Parks, and having a dedicated, or possibly a repurposed, placed in the contact chamber to, yeah, to them water.
Want everybody to understand, like that, before we go any further, the city has a discharge permit. Okay? The park needs the water. The wastewater system doesn't have to do anything but send the water down the river. So if the park wants the water, the park should pay all the costs associated with getting that water, not the utility.
How many vehicles do you have for your department?
It was different when the city didn't have a discharge permit. You had to find a place to put the water. The wastewater system does not need a place to put the water. That's why I made that.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay. What condition are your vehicles in?
One is good, one is poor.
All right, under safety equipment, how many eyewash stations do you have at the plant?
One.
When was the last time it was inspected or replaced? Because they do expire.
We should have looked better for the regional, for the plant.
We have three up there. There's one in the lowering building, there's one right where the water comes up into the
So
plant.
you have isolation and fixtures, not just premises.
Yes.
Okay, so
About 4 months ago.
4 months ago, okay. Is the AED inspected by a licensed person? Yes. That's it for me. Next.
I just have a general question. So,
Since the pump station has opened up its full operation, the car wash, have you seen an increase in expenses? Budget,
uh,
are you anticipating?
I do not, I don't really see that affecting anything.
Okay. Do they use?
They have to recycle a certain amount of their water.
Yeah.
So I'm getting conflicting statements from that.
They're required, both
Recycle.
to recycle a certain portion of their water.
What portion?
I couldn't tell you that, but I know that was part of it when it was built. It's some of the standards for car washes, right?
Yeah, the state, because that's one of the
There's
questions
also
I asked
recycle,
about.
So they base their volume, they make the expansion. Okay. But that's not affecting us in our systems.
We also have retreatment, which is oils and separators, and that prevents the bulk of the sand.
I had asked this question, it's quite a long back, but I get conflicted. So we know they have their water separators, they do recycle their water. They still have a 600,000 gallon,
They use a lot of
use water like this. And that, but that, no, but in the end of it, it doesn't affect our operations.
Think about that, sorry. Your wastewater, what's your daily average flow?
200,000 gallons a day.
Okay, I wanna give you a number here, 200,
Right.
200.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, 20 years ago, it was 175. Got it? So, but now the new developments say like that, and the permit is for 900? 900,000 a day, so see. Who's firm? Ours.
For our way plan.
So, yeah, now, understand, these can creep up on you with these developments. And when you get to 75%, you have to build it, expansions. You have to plan for it, yeah, right. But we're well under that. That's why I asked the question about inflow. And I know we have inflow, we want to stop that because it costs us money. But before they had the $100 plan, and the plan was 400, a rainfall would have been less than 100. But there's built-in extra capacity. It doesn't say don't work on the inflow, but it's important. Not to give you that, but it's not critical.
So the 50,000 on the equipment, that, when I read that, that's not any money towards the joint project with Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Is it in there?
So, I believe so that was still in the planning stages, but I thought that was gonna be part of the CIP. So no, that's not it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
We do have any infrastructure, where it's getting to that point, so where the costs are gonna.
Right, no, I'm not questioning that, I was just making. And besides on that line, is there anything critical to mission buildings that you need?
Questions?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that I think that things can be done better, but we're able to make things work the way they are. But if you're gonna ask me for a wish list, yeah, we don't have enough money.
All right, and you'll see the wish list on our 10-year plan that you mentioned, that we're gonna stop. You will be able to see some of that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Lee? Ms. Schreiber? Anything else y'all want to tell us?
I did. I want to say, first, thank you all for this real helpful workshops. I do want to make sure that y'all know that we work for you all and work for the city, all of us. Public works, and I want to make sure that you feel that you can come to us at any time to let us know if there's something we need to do. There's something wrong with this, but we like to feel like we're an extension of you all. So we're not going, I don't want to be like us against you or anything like that. We just organize that these guys on the meeting said this is what I need to learn. I bet it before we get this thing, and then you guys do your part. So.
Well, having said that, John, I just want to implement that too. I lost a lot of questions. I learned a lot of personal insight into it when I challenged you guys back. And it's not to be, I've said that before to you. It's not to be combative. It's just to maybe flush out the rest of the story in some respects.
Yeah, well, that comes with the experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked my question, I wanna make sure.
Yeah. So we're working. Does anybody else have any questions whatsoever?
I have one.
Oh, yeah.
For you, Lord. Is there a way to get the modifications aside from the departments, just like total, we spend X amount on labor, we spend X amount on engineers, we spend X amount, just as a year-to-date? Yeah, just no, for the city, like.
Yeah, year-to-date.
Okay, there's mine. Okay, but I want to ask you this, I want to ask you to clarify that. Because are you dealing by fund or total wise? Because there's engineer in the general fund, there's engineer in all the funds. You need to stay focused in each individual fund because general fund is tax-based, utility fund is for business side of the house. Therefore,
I just think it would be
you need to keep those separations in mind and utility fund.
good to know how much we're spending.
At the end of the month, next meeting, I should have the next quarterly report that you already approved. property funds, so you'll see the actual year to date up until June 30th. So that should help, but if you need more than that, I'll show it to you prior and let you know.
What's really interesting when I say that, when you look at, obviously, the PD is community development, those are straight to airport is very clear airport. Enterprise system, the utility system, they're dealing with everybody, because they've got components like everybody within that. So, anyway. All right, well, we're done. It is now 4:44 p.m. Thank you very much for everybody. And you all, please get your questions.